We were sent this knife to review by a company called Fintiso, and let's get into this big old fixed blade. Interesting handle color. Don't dislike it. Looks like, I don't know if this has any specs on it. It looks like it's a micarta handle, which I personally like. Things like micarta. Bone and wood are cool handle material, and I've worked in them a lot, but man, there's nothing like the durability of things like of micarta, and that's what this looks like. Nice Kydex sheath, interesting belt design. I like the design of that belt. It's sure offset a bunch. That's an interesting situation. I don't know what that all looks like, but I'm interested in the knife more than the sheath. Sheath is really tight. That's nice. A lot of the knives now, they're getting the Kydex tightness correct. And let's pull this out and look at that. That is sweet. All right, long handle. Let's just start with that. Long handle, and I guess you can tell the texture on it. It's ground down in sections so that it's a bumpy handle, grippy, and it feels good, feels right. That's a 4.5 finger grip there. That takes up all of my hand and then some. Lanyard hole at the back. Man, I like that 14 C28N steel, jimping right there. Oh, I love that belly. So that is a skinning belly and a chopping belly, and kind of an all-purpose, possibly an all-purpose camp knife I would use it for. I don't do things like that. Boy, it's got some heft to it. Nazar is the name of the blade, N-A-Z-A-R, Fintiso. This is selling on Amazon for $126. But we found on their website, Fintiso's, that at the moment it was half off. So I don't know if that'll last. I hope it does. But they're selling this for $126. They're calling this a G10 handle and a titanium coating. So it has some of those upgrades. I like the G10 handle. It comes in 3 different colors. I don't remember what... well, here I've got olive, black and blue, and just straight black. So this is the black and blue. I can see the olive being the one that you lose in the woods. But titanium coating, I wouldn't have expected $126, but I'm glad it's half off. There's an old style of knife that a guy named Sears, frontiersman, an explorer, whatever, in the 1800s, that developed a Nessmuk knife style, and this reminds me of that, and there's a lot of takes on that. This looks very much like the Tops Camp Creek knife. I don't know if theirs might be a little bit bigger, but kind of a chopping, skinning, all around camp knife style is the idea. So let's start with this. The blade, you're looking at a blade that's 4 1/4 inches. So just, yeah, 4 1/4. So that makes it a nice size knife. Now the handle, this is great. Overall, the thing is 9.5 inches. So you got a full 5-inch handle, 5-inch and a little bit. And you got a nice little finger guard integral there, just built in. It fills my hand well. I like the shape of it. I really like the shape of it. I see it for skinning. That's not something that I'm going to do much of. I have skinned out animals, but this would be for a big animal. This wouldn't be for no squirrel. But that is nice. Let's weigh it. Let's weigh it by itself. Let's see, in ounces, it's 7.48, so 7.5 ounces. In grams, it's 212. I would have thought it was more than that, actually. I figured it was a full 8 ounces from the weight. Now we can see what it's going to weigh on your belt. It's 10 ounces, 10.2 ounces total, carrying it around. So a little hefty. Got a nice little hole drilled into the bottom of the Kydex so that if there's condensation, water buildup, it'll drain out right there. It's a very good idea. Kydex being impermeable to moisture, it would hold moisture if it got in there, so you need a way for it to get out. Probably the best thing to do, obviously, is to clean your knife before you put it away, but it doesn't always happen, does it? Very, very nice. What's next? Sharpness. I'm just going to see what it'll do right here in the back of my hand. Oh, pops them right off, so it doesn't even, I don't even have to hardly touch it. That's as sharp coming out of the box as just about anything. I remember in the past that I have been very impressed by Victorinox Swiss Army knife sharpness and buck knives. I got a buck 110. That thing was so sharp coming out. It was great for trimming leather. You know, if you have to cut leather and you need really sharp. I've had a Gerber that was that sharp. I had a Ganzo that I reviewed that was possibly even a little sharper than this. There's hair just popping. Beautiful. Let's do some newspaper swipe and see what that looks like. I mean, I always find this funny because if it's going to shave my hair like that, there's not going to be any problem with any of this. And that does exactly what it's supposed to do. I wonder, I talked about in one of my reviews about shaving newsprint off. I'm not really expecting it'll do that, but we're going to give it a try. You roll up the newspaper and you apply your blade and you try to shave off newsprint without cutting through it. I can't quite get it to grab. I feel like it's about to cut through the paper. I'm not making that happen, but that's the top of the line. That's a crazy sharp kind of thing. Wow, this is nice. Like I said, I'm not going to be skinning animals with it, but I sure am interested in chopping with it. I use my knives in the yard. I have a lot of trees and a lot of yard work and a lot of things to deal with the thickness of the blade. Here you got it. We are looking at, if that's a quarter, that's an eighth of an inch, just over an eighth of an inch thick. And let me do some metric here, although I do have the metric on this. Looks like the metric on that is, if my eyes are working right, 4 millimeters thick. I like the spear point on that too. That's part of the Nessmuk design, is that you get a big belly, but you also get a spear for working on things. Log trimming from a tree. I want to see what this feels like in doing some chopping. Handle secure, it feels good. Feels good for chopping like this. Now let me see if I wanted to, of course this bark is just falling off. If I was wanting to clean this up, easy, feels good in my hand. Easy to control. I like that. If I wanted to do some close-up work. I've got plenty of blade. I could do some feather sticking even on this giant limb here, this big piece. In fact, that belly kind of lends itself to that. I rarely ever, I don't know that I've ever had to worry about a feather stick. I try to make do with newspaper and cotton balls and a Bic lighter and other things, but it's fun to know how to do these things. This is on a piece of citrus and it's pretty dry, dyed in a freeze. I like that. I like that. There's one other thing over here that I'll show you. I have a smoker. And I like to, I use a good sized knife for making my own wood chips for smoking. This is some pieces of cherry that are cut to the right length from my smoker. And so I, yeah, of course, when you got something that's razor sharp and you got heft to the blade that big, there's no reason that that's not going to be a problem. Although I will tell you a funny story that I was using a cheap miniature machete that I got from a catalog that I thought would be really good for this kind of work, and this is not hard on a piece of steel, but I was doing this exact same thing, just making wood chips for my smoker, and the tang on that cheap thing just broke right off. Now it wasn't full tang, and I knew it wasn't. I had to build it a new handle, but this is full tang. This is hefty. I really, really like it. Fintiso sent that to me to review, and I like the way the sheath fits, and I like the feel of that handle, and I like the blade style. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope that you will give us a like. I hope that you will share us with somebody else who likes knives. I hope that you will tell us if you have any experience with these.